Welcome to Manny's Power Hour, guys. So glad to have you back. You're gonna see some gameplay in the background. I don't know what, but today I came to talk about a topic. In particular, this topic is going to be about the recent events of the Joe Budden podcast and kind of life lessons that happened with it. And I'm kind of calling this segment Life Talk with Manny. So I'm going to jump right in here and kind of talk about the situation and kind of give my thoughts about it. And it's not to cloud up. I think there's a big lesson to kind of be learned from all of this. And so, with that being said, without further ado, let me stop yapping my mouth and let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into the situation. Let's talk about this Joe Budden podcast situation and this Life Talks with Manny. So basically, this whole segment, it's not really a segment, but this whole thing is happening with Joe, Rory, and Mal and the lessons that we can learn. For me, it's not about the drama, more so about things to take away, things that we should learn. I feel like a lot of times in life, we have things that happen that go on with our friends and our family that we just don't look around and see and kind of take stock and see what we can pull from that. Even celebrities online, most people who get online are like, oh, it's drama, let me get into the drama, I don't know what's happening, I want to be in the drama. And most of the time we should be looking at things and situations and stuff to learn from, and what to do better and what not to do. So that's kind of what I want to make this kind of segment thing. It's just a Life Talks with Manny. If I'm feeling something where I kind of want to talk about what's going on in life, I'm going to throw this up. I'm going to throw some gameplay in the background. Right now it's MLB The Show 2021. Me sucking. So I'm going to throw it up. Throw that in the background and kind of discuss, what I want to kind of get off my chest and what I want to talk about. And so what I want to talk about today, like I said, is that Joe Budden situation and what we can learn from it. So just to give a little bit of the backstory for people who don't know what's going on, if you don't know what's going on. So Joe had a podcast not too long ago that was deleted, where on said podcast he fired Rory, who is one of his co-hosts and supposed friends. He did not fire Mal. He fired Rory. He did not fire Mal. But what he said to Mal was, "I'm the person that has to fire Rory and make that decision, not you, and you need to be okay with that." So that's kind of what Joe said from his perspective. Then Joe came out and did another podcast where he was kind of mad at Mal for what he feels is him taking Rory's side, and they've had a friendship that has been longer than him and Rory, that Mal and Rory has had, and they go back years. So he feels like he should kind of be on his side, I guess is what Joe was saying. And then Rory and Mal respond about the issues, and one of the biggest things that this boils down to is their contract and accounting. And so basically what Rory and Mal are saying is, we are percentage partners. We get 3% of everything that comes into the business. So we need the accounting to kind of do that, Joe. We can't see that we're properly being paid if you don't give us the accounting. And so that is what kind of spurred this huge, big issue between them. And amongst other things, respect stuff from Mal's vantage point. But just the accounting, I guess, from Rory's vantage point. Mal took issue with Joe telling him to his face, this podcast is none of your business, stuff like that. So now we're here. And I don't really care about the drama between them and their friendships. That's for them to deal with. I'm concerned with the life lessons that everybody should take into account. So the first one I want to take is on the business tip of this, the business end tip of this. And the business end tip is this: whenever you go into business with friends or family or any business partner, set it out from the beginning. I'm not really gonna. I don't want to divulge too much of what goes on with Bowie Films because we've had our arguments, our ups and downs here, but we've managed to stay together and kind of keep things moving forward. But we have an understanding of when money starts to roll in, when we start to get super popular, what's going to happen. You know, you set out your percentages, you talk about ownership, you talk about everything, and you get it on the table and you make sure everyone's comfortable when they're not making money. So when the money comes in, they know what to expect. And obviously situations change. You renegotiate, you redo things, you know. But, you know, I talked with my partner about what's going to happen. And so, you know, that's what you should do. You should talk about those things. You should talk about what's going to happen with your show, in your show, different things like that. No pun intended, because the show's in the background. Yeah, so that's what I would say. You need to lay that groundwork. And I feel like even though there's kind of like a back and forth between Joe and Kevin Hart and they don't like each other, Kevin Hart made that really good point. It's like you come in with your friends and no matter what, even though, you know, it could be somebody's name on it or whatever, you all have to ride for each other no matter how big you get. And you come in with the set ground rules and set things and realize that, you know, everybody's helping to build this brand and this entity. And so I think that would have helped them in the beginning is to have a conversation and come to that realization. But it's hard when you're kind of just being friends and doing something, you know. But it's stuff you gotta think about when you go to do anything. You start a podcast with your friend, you start a business with your friend, you know, friendships and people change and things can be altered. So you just gotta keep that in the back of your mind. Another life lesson that can be learned on a friendship basis. I think a lot of people view friendships differently. The first thing that I would say is too many people call too many people their friend, who haven't put in work to earn that title. Friendship is being there for somebody. It's like love, right? How many people do you tell that you love, right? Is it something that you say because you feel it? Most people feel like it's an affection. I don't really think love is an affection. Love to me is an action. It's what you do. Every day, do you go to bat for that person? Do you have their back? Do you take care of their needs? Those sort of things. That is showing love, you know. Showing love. I'm showing you love. I am completing the action that is love. And relationships in a dynamic, whether they are, I want to say, friendship based or boyfriend girlfriend based or husband wife based, they gotta have some of that aspect of love in it. And you don't just love people right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. You put in work. You kind of show each other that you're there for you. Oh, I got your back. You ever need anything, I got you. Hit me up. Call me. Da 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 da. That is how you establish a friendship. You don't do it just by saying, "Oh, we're friends because we cool and we kind of like each other." People change. Situations change. Things change. And all friendships don't last. You know. And you know, different people treat friendship differently. You know, there are some people who are friends where they gotta see you every day, otherwise they're not gonna be your friends. Then there are other. And if we ever need anything from each other, we will talk and be as friends. That's just kind of how it is. So it's friendship. I think is an overused word. Overused thing, and so I just think that like the second lesson you can learn is be careful with your friendships and your friend group. Watch what's around you, watch who you call a friend, do that analyzation process that you're supposed to do, but be clear about the parameters of your friendship too, so that it doesn't have to be a hard talk later, you know. And they always say, a saying that they have is be careful with getting it into business with friends and family because it could go wrong. I feel like if you have clear guidelines, if you have things set out, if you talk about it and you have those hard conversations up front, at least it's something that is smoother sailing on the back end. So keep that friend's idea in your mind. Be careful who you call your friend. Watch their actions, and you know, always be comfortable enough to remove yourself from an uncomfortable situation. That's what I would say. The last lesson to be learned from this, and it's something that I myself want to pick up on too, is to not be invested in it, right? We are so invested, I think, in drama and things that are going on, and that's why it's popular. That's why Joe Budden is blowing up right now, because it's some drama. People are more invested, and you see this on the internet all the time. Everybody's liking it, but they don't really check themselves for the temperature in the room. We are more invested in things that are negative than are positive, right? We don't go searching for things that are positive. We go searching for things that are negative. We need to be more invested in the things that are positive. We need to be more invested in each other as human beings. And so that's just something we got to do. We got to do it. We got to be more invested. We got to be more invested. We got to be more invested. And so take the time to be invested in yourself. Take the time to be invested in others, and invest it in a positive way, not a negative way. So these are kind of some of the things that I wanted to say. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. That's just kind of me getting my thoughts about the whole JPB situation, and a kind of a new segment that I wanted to start on my show, Manny's Power Hour. Life Talks with Manny. Expect some more in the future. I got a ton of videos that I'm working on coming to you guys. I know I keep saying that every time, but I do. Go ahead and go ahead and get down in that comment section if you got some thoughts about the whole JPB situation. If you got some thoughts about just anything, get down there. Let me know what you guys think. And subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Help us out. Subscribe. Get on our Facebook. You can catch us on Facebook at Bowie Films. Get on the YouTube. You can catch us on YouTube at Bowie Films. We got some new shows on Spotify, some podcasts, 21 Podcast, A Legend Talks Podcast. Get on our Twitter at Real Bowie Films. Just blow us up, guys. Hit us up. Comment. Get in there. We really want to keep building with you guys. We're on our grind to 300 subs. We're about at 238, I want to say, as of today. And so we're just going to keep working and keep grinding to get there. Like I said, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.